You and I were in an event several years ago with
This is Howard Behar.
the former president of Starbucks. Helped scale them basically 23 stores to 25,000 stores. But Behar told us, he said, if you're going to really grow something, you've got to have real conversations with real people.
Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all coming.
If my people don't want to be led, that I believe is on me. Go have a conversation with anybody that you feel like is any level of disengaged. There's too much on the line here for you to have people around you that are not with you. People don't leave organizations, they leave leaders. And it's a brand new week here on the Lead Everyday Show. I'm Randy Gravitt.
And I'm Mark Miller.
And Mark, I want to know how your Father's Day was. Did you have a good weekend?
It was good. Got to spend some time with family.
That's good.
It was fantastic.
Did you watch any golf and
Yeah, a little bit.
any of that stuff? Yeah, that's good.
Bit.
So it's good. Okay, so we're in a fun series here. Season 6, hard to believe. The downloads keep coming, questions keep coming. We're doing a little summer series. If you're new to the show, we've been answering some questions from listeners, and it's been a lot of fun. But I'm not sure this question is fun for the leader who's asking the question. They ask, here's their question, Mark. What do you do if you have a team member who acts like they don't need a leader? And I can almost feel the pain on that side of it, because we've probably all been there with people who you got people that you hire them and they're rock stars and you're excited, and then you have people that they're really good in an interview, but somehow they got there and now you got to lead them. And so what do you do if you do end up with somebody in your career who they don't want to have a leader, they don't want to follow a leader? Like, how do you address that one? I got some thoughts here I'm going to share in a minute, but I want to see what you got.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the opening comments a few days back. I think context matters. There's so many questions I have for that leader.
Yeah.
So let's just start with one. Maybe this would help somebody. What are the behavioral signals that are leading you to this conclusion? Because there is a chance that those signals could be signaling something else.
They're indicators of
Yes, maybe you're not leading them the way they want to be led. Mm-hmm. And you need to have a conversation, an alignment conversation. I remember early in my career, someone who wanted me to travel with them every month. And I said, that's not going to happen. So I'm assuming that they were unhappy with me at that point, mm-hmm. because I was not traveling with them every month. And they said, well, I want you to see me do my work so you'll know I'm good at my job. And I said, well, we'll determine how good you are at your job based on your performance, not what you do when you're traveling. And so maybe there's an alignment or misalignment that you've got to deal with. And again, there are any number of other potential root causes, but I think you've got to try to get to the root. What are the behaviors, and then where are they coming from to give you any shot at a credible solution?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with you here. I'm having to sort of read into the context. If somebody's acting like they don't need a leader, I'm just gonna, again, they're probably leaned out or disengaged, or back to what even some of the stuff we talked about the other day. And it may be a couple things here. It really may be I'll review my list from the other day that you wrote about in Win the Heart. It's they may not feel connected to the cause or to the people or to the customers or to their teammates. And mm-hmm. so they're just like, they're leaned out, or that's my perception as a leader. They may not feel affirmed. They may not be in the right role. There's a lot of things there, or they may not have any responsibility. I mean, it's just like they don't see how their work matters. And I want to shift the conversation here a little bit to look myself in the mirror for a moment. So I think most of the time when people who have been led by me have struggled, it's not been because they didn't want to have a leader. It's been because I didn't lead them the way they needed to be led. Back to what you just said. I think that's a really important caveat here, that we're really thinking through, how do they need to be led? And some people need to be led one way, and others need to be led another way.
Yes.
And we know that there's different.
Yes. And some people may need a form of leadership that you're unable or unwilling to provide. Like my right. example, the guy who said, just travel with me every month. It's like, well, I have 15 of you in this role.
I can't be gone every day.
And that's naturally not going to help you be better,
right,
for me to follow you around.
Yeah.
So I think That matters.
I remind myself often that the people on my team don't wake up in the morning and think, I want to see if I can cause grief to my leader. I mean, they don't do that. So maybe if I'm listening here and I've got people that feel like they're not leaned into leadership, I would say that's my responsibility if I'm the leader. I mean,
Sure.
And so at some point, if it's a hard issue or if it's a character issue or if it's a skill gap that they don't want to close or they're, I mean, at some point you may have to invite them to leave your team. I mean,
Sure.
you can't let somebody stay at this place. To me, that's the danger here. It's like we have somebody at this spot that doesn't want to be led. That can't continue. We've got to do something here to make sure that, they've either got to get back to a place where they're under authority. You talk about that a lot as well, or they've got to leave, because you can't leave somebody in an ineffective place like we talked about last week.
Right.
So
So let's go back to one other, not probable, but potential cause is maybe they feel like they should be in your chair.
Yeah.
Maybe they feel like they should be the leader.
Yeah.
Then I think you have a candid conversation. The organization chooses who they give responsibility to.
Yeah.
Now, let's pretend you're the guy, and I'm saying, I can help you prepare for future opportunities. That's all we can do. The organization gives us those opportunities, but I would argue it has a lot to do with our readiness. So I understand your hopes and dreams and aspirations. I want to empathize with your frustration.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move past that and let me serve you so that the next time there's an opportunity, you're the one selected.
Yeah. I like that. I would say my takeaway for today really would be to have that conversation. I mean, if you've got somebody on your team that doesn't appear, they may be just having something going on outside of work.
Right.
I mean, really, you don't even know
what's going on.
But I love your idea of just that. To me, that's the action step today, is go have a conversation with anybody that you feel like is any level of disengaged. There's too much on the line here for you to have people around you that are not with you. And I think we can be with people and not really be with them. And, we tell leaders all the time, there's nothing worse than your people have left you and they haven't told you. Well, obviously something's telling this leader who's asking this question that I think I've got somebody that's not really with me. I think you got to go talk to them. That to me is that's the place to start. And even for the people that you feel like your people are with you, I want to ensure that alignment and that engagement all the time. And so we want to have these kind of conversations all the time. You and I were in an event several years ago with, you'll remember this, Howard Behar, the former president of Starbucks. Remember,
yes,
he
great
guy, and helped scale them basically. Was it 23 stores to 25,000 stores?
Yeah, he was the guy.
This guy's a monster. He was Howard Schultz right hand guy, right? And but Behar told us, he said, if you're going to really grow something, you've got to have real conversations with real people. You got to sit down and exactly what you're talking about, have those conversations. And if my people don't want to be led, that I believe is on me. And so I've got to make sure, that we're doing everything we can to ensure that those people are there. People don't leave organizations, they leave leaders. And so that may not be what we want to hear, but I think that's the place to start, and then go have the conversation, see what's really going on. And we might find that it's not maybe as bad as we thought it was, or if it is, it's an opportunity to move on and have somebody else that could fill that spot and do great work. So good opportunity here for us to all get better this week. We're going to try to help you all week as we think through these questions. You got some great questions. They're causing us to think about some stuff, and we're excited to have this conversation with you this week. Remember, the best leaders lead every day.